to the world of Facebook, to wherever you are joining us today. We're delighted to be here with you for the Energy Explorers live series. My name is Carla Greengrass, and I am an admissions coach at the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, or iPEC for short. A lot easier on the lips. And I am really excited to be hosting today's Energy Explorers live series with Michael Galyon. And we're so delighted to have you all joining us. We're going to get started because we've got great stuff ahead. Michael has an amazing exercise to share with us in a little bit, and we're going to dig into his story because I think a lot of you will find it relatable and hear something that may bring you your own aha moment. But first, just an introduction of the Energy Explorers live series. Here at iPEC, we are driven by our mission to really raise the consciousness of the world one person at a time. So not only are we doing that as certified professional coaches, but we are a community of helpers, and we are filled with a network of people that are using their talents to help others and themselves to live their purpose. Really getting to the heart of what it means to be a certified professional coach and the unique journeys that we're all on. And this platform gives us the opportunity to shine the light on members of our community who are out there really doing amazing things and upholding that mission to raise the consciousness of the world one person at a time. And as we get into Michael's story, I love how he is showing up as his authentic self. And what we'll kind of explore is that wasn't necessarily what happened out of the gate, but an amazing journey that he went on to find that and find his voice in a way that he can impact the world in a way that feels just right for him and his values. So just a couple of housekeeping issues. For questions, we ask that you drop them into the Zoom Q&A or into the Facebook comments, so not into that chat box. We will provide links for information at the end of our conversation. And this is also being recorded so that if you want to watch it again, we'll email that out to you, and you'll also be able to find it on our social media channels. So first and foremost, let's do an introduction of our guest. I'm going to read. I hope that's okay. So Michael is a certified professional coach and mindfulness teacher with a background in corporate leadership in the education space. Michael attended iPEC as a way to improve his coaching skills within the company he was working with, but quickly fell in love with the practice of coaching for both life and business, and eventually found his way to launching his own coaching and consulting company, where he infuses core energy coaching techniques with elements of mindfulness to help clients quickly cut through the noise and find a calm and centered space from which to pursue their goals. He works in the corporate and private space and also runs a weekly group coaching program. And for all of our New Yorkers out there, teaches a meditation class virtually and live in the city. So you can find out more information towards the end of our recording, where you can find Michael in person. Okay, so with that said, I want to just dive right in. I think one of the questions as an admissions coach that I get, and I certainly know that we asked it a lot as students in iPEC, is, do I need a niche? Do I not need a niche? Do I need a niche? Do I not need a niche? And so first, tell me in your own words what your niche is.
Yeah, so I work with what I affectionately call calm coaching. So, when I was launching my business, it was always this issue of wanting to have everything perfect and wanting to have everything in place before I was ready to officially say those words, I'm a coach, you should hire me. And from needing to have the correct website to the right images to having everything there, I was very attached to the feeling that I needed to have the niche so specific to the person that I was speaking to. And that didn't really feel right because my background's a bit eclectic. I started out as a performer in New York, moving here from musical theater, and was a professional actor and singer for 10 years. And then I moved into the educational space and worked in early childhood education, and then moved into management from there and ended up on the corporate team of an early childhood education company, overseeing the international franchising and working with the business owners, supporting them as they were launching their business. So when I came to iPEC, it was because I wanted to begin to be able to support the franchise owners and be able to better serve them. But quickly into my journey, I learned that I just had this passion and this love for coaching. And I could never seem to pinpoint that one person that I wanted to help. You know, when you go through all of those persona developments and you talk to Susan, who's 35 with 3 children, and none of that felt really organic or right. And it wasn't until I really started honing in on the process of coaching and what I'm able to offer using that eclectic background and this process that I've created, which is the ability to get people to a calm, centered place from which they can then begin to pursue their goals. So my niche is for anyone who is needing a bit of calm in their life and they're feeling overwhelmed by the noise of the world.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And I love that journey too. I think that's really relatable, where you sometimes get bogged down in the details of who am I serving? And it sounds like you went from that other space of how am I serving? And in that feels like something that a lot of people could use in their life. And it feels very genuine from your heart, which feels like how you've been able to connect with a lot of people. So you said you felt like you needed the website, the marketing, it had like that, perfection over progress, right? Like you can't move because you're so focused on having that. How did you move beyond that? Like, what was the catalyst for you to finally go, well, it's time to launch. It doesn't matter that I don't have a website.
Yeah. It was a little bit scary and a little bit daunting. And it took a few years of still being in my job in the corporate world and still using the tools of coaching there. And, I would dabble and have a client here or there on the side. But it really wasn't until the world turned upside down and there was a global pandemic that about a year ago, it's been a year, I got the call that the company that I was working for was declaring bankruptcy and my job was no longer going to be there. And so there was this moment of sheer panic and terror. And I felt myself going into this fight or flight mentality. And I felt that low level energy propelling me forward in a way that was making me send out my resume to everyone. And it was causing me to just start burning out. And it was in that moment where, thankfully I happened to be a mindfulness meditation teacher. So I was able to sit there was a moment of calmness and clarity that came over me. And I recognized that if I was going to allow for myself to be propelled by this catabolic energy, which was going to move me towards that burnout, I was going to end up in the exact same place that I was headed and that I was in for years. And this was this beautiful opportunity to take this risk. And while it may be scary, to tap into that sense of calm and be able to move myself into what I've always wanted to do, this vision for my life and for my business that I've always wanted to create. And if I could stay in this place of calm, and if I could allow for that energy to have things coming through me and not from me, then I would be able to launch the business. So when I connected to the vision for what I wanted to create, that's what was propelling me forward. And the fact that I didn't have a website, the fact that I didn't have a social media presence that was huge, the fact that, I didn't have business cards even, gave me the confidence to be able to step out and to say, I'm a coach and here's why you should hire me. But it first came from doing the work and working with a coach who helped me to be able to have the confidence to step out and say that. And it actually started on social media. It started with a little thing called TikTok, which is a funny place, but it felt like a safe place for me to begin to explore. And so what I did is once I got really clear on the vision, which is actually the exercise that we're going to do today, is once I got clear on the vision for what I wanted my business and my life to be aligned with, then I began to put out these 15-second videos, which were simply me holding space for others in the chaos of social media some calm amidst the scroll, as I like to call it, and to simply give, words of wisdom that truthfully I needed to hear in that moment. So I was showing up as my authentic self and giving words that were meaningful to me, and it began to relate to people. And from there, it became this process of, okay, people are interested in this. And I saw, the followers count grow from 500 to 1,000 to 10 to 20 to 30,000. And I thought, well, I should probably have a website, and then created a Squarespace site to just allow for people to book an intro session. And from there, the clients started coming because they were compelled by the content that I was putting out there, because it was safe and it was calm and it was something that people needed in that moment.
Yeah. And I follow you on TikTok, so I've seen your stuff. And I think you just encapsulated, I think, why it's so powerful, because it is simple and it does feel real. You're not being anything but yourself, and you're speaking to a need that you had within yourself that others clearly resonated with. I oftentimes think we can overthink things and feel like we have to come up with something brilliant and innovative to get out there. But what I love is that you just, you pushed it all away and said, I'm just going to try this. And of course, working with a coach, which is, we believe in the process, but oftentimes, we forget that we need that coaching as well. And how just having someone hold that space for you to kind of gain that clarity can be so important in finally being able to see those pieces come together so that you can show up and not just follow that default setting of panic, must get job, versus I'm going to sit here and figure out what it is that I really am meant to do and follow that. So yay on that.
Yeah.
So you talked about this visioning and getting in that calm space. Before we launch into that exercise, I would love to just hear from you, like, what will this allow us to do? What's kind of the goal and the purpose of getting in this space of clarity?
Yeah. So again, when we look at the different types of energy that we have our catabolic and our anabolic energy, and wanting to tap more into that space where we can be accessing those higher levels of energy and be able to really be coming from a place where we are not acting because we fear that there's a lion chasing us, and if we don't act, then we're going to die. That's not sustainable, and it's deteriorating, and it breaks us down on a cellular level and just causes us to be making decisions that are based on fear and not based on something that is aligned with our vision. Mm-hmm. And so, oftentimes in meditation, we talk about walking each other home. And so that's a big part of what I like to do, is just to provide this calm space through guided meditation where we can begin to find home, come home to ourselves, find that center, and begin to align with what it really is that we want in our life. To be able to identify that vision for what we want to create in our life and our business is so powerful. But then also recognizing that when we create a business and when we create a way of living that is connected to our vision, that is connected to those values, but it also recognizes the needs that we have and is there to support and meet them. It's not saying that we will never be fearful. It's not saying that we will never have anxiety. It's saying that I can exist and I can continue to go after what I want in the face of that anxiety. And so what the visioning exercise does is puts us in a calm space, and then allows for us to simply journal from that space on what our values are, what are the things that need us most, what are the things that we want to feel more of in our life, and then ultimately, how do we want to craft a vision for what's to come.
All right. That's a great setup. Let's do this.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right. Tell us what we need to do to get ready and get into this.
So typically this would be a longer session. We're short on time. So I want to just start with allowing for you to, wherever you are in the world, find the most comfortable position that you can find. So if that's seated, if that's lying down, just allow for yourself to begin to feel a sinking feeling, to be able to settle into yourself and to whatever is beneath you. And if it feels right and comfortable for you, I'll invite you to just gently close your eyes and allow for yourself to begin to connect with your breath, this beautiful life source that is there to sustain your life here on earth. And just simply allow for this to be the grounding force right now. To simply pay attention to the inhale and the exhale. The inhale and the exhale. If those thoughts start to come and be distracting, simply note them, let them pass by as you redirect your attention again fully to the breath. If it's helpful, using the phrase, I'm aware of my inhale, I'm aware of my exhale. Allowing for this breath to deepen and become a calming force in your life. Now I want you to begin to draw your attention to lengthening the inhale, to allowing for yourself with each inhale to begin to take up space as your chest expands. We spend so much of our time making ourselves smaller, fitting ourselves into a box. In this moment with the connection to your breath, I want to invite you to allow for yourself to take up as much space as you need. Focusing on each inhale, expanding of your chest, an expansion of your being, and with each exhale, allowing for yourself to contract. Letting this ground you in this present moment and allow for a sense of calm to wash over you. As you connect with your breath, you feel comfortable taking up space. Begin to set the intention to allow for yourself to release, to surrender, to let go. In this moment, to find this space of calm from which you can create. With each inhale, feeling a sense of calm, and with each exhale, allowing for yourself to sink deeper and deeper into this calm. And now begin to connect with your heart. If it's helpful for you, placing a hand on your heart and beginning to feel the beating of your heart beneath your hand and connecting with this life force, connecting with the emotions that are there, and connecting with your most authentic self without needing to change or shift or manipulate anything about you or your being, simply connecting with who you are and extending gratitude for yourself, extending a sense of gratitude for showing up today, for being here to connect with yourself and to begin to craft a vision for what's to come. And in this space of calm and in this space of gratitude, you can begin to awaken whatever needs to awaken. If it's a wiggling of your fingers and your toes, if it's a shrugging of your shoulders, if it's a gentle stretch. And when it feels right for you, you can begin to open your eyes, take in the space around you, and enter back feeling connected and calm. So in this space of calm that hopefully washed over you, I want to ask you 4 questions today. And these 4 questions are what I walk all of my clients through during our first session. And this creates what I like to call our vision for what's to come. And in this calm space, connected to yourself and connected to your authenticity, I want to ask you the question, And I want you to journal on this if you have a journal, or just remember it for later. But just simply asking yourself the question and writing it down without editing. What do I stand by and value the most in my life? Writing those three things. What do I stand by and value the most in my life? Writing them down without editing a thing, just allowing for whatever comes organically and naturally from this calm state to be present on the page. This can be kindness, connection, love. The point of this exercise is to simply allow for it to flow. So if it's not coming to you, just write without judgment, whatever is coming to you. And then we move to the next question. And I know we're going fast. But the next question being, what fills me with joy? What in your life fills you with joy? Whether this is looking at specifically your business or creating a vision for your life, what fills you with joy? What are areas of your life that just fill you up? Try and get 2 or 3 of these. Tap into that feeling of joy that's present for you and just let it be there. And then recognizing that the counterpart of joy is often our sorrow and those things which may be heavier and the things that need our attention. So begin to think in this moment, what needs the most of me? What are those feelings that are coming up for me that are standing in my way of being able to pursue the life or the business that I'm trying to create? This could be sadness or fear or doubt. But what needs the most of you? And then finally, turning to our last question, what are the emotions or feelings that I want more of in my life? Do I want more happiness? Do I want more excitement? What do I want more of? Again, letting this be natural and just simply flow from you onto the page. What emotions or feelings do I want more of? Do I want more happiness? Do I want more joy? Do I want more excitement? Do I want more connection? What feelings do I want more of? And then allowing for us to look at these 4 answers and begin to craft a vision for what's to come. What do we do with this? So what I would do with my clients in this moment, and I'll invite you to do, is to begin to look through these and to create a vision for what's to come, starting with, I'm creating a life or business. I'm creating a life or business that is filled with whatever those values are. I'm creating a life or business that is filled with, in my case, calm, kindness, and connection. Allow for yourself to then further that statement by adding in the things that bring you joy and fulfillment, knowing that in our life, we want to have a business or a life that is filled with the things that bring us joy. So I'm creating a life that is filled with calm, kindness, and connection, where I'm able to experience connection with family, adventure, and travel. And then looking at those emotions that need the most of you and being willing and brave enough to surrender them. To say, I release the fear, the anger, and the doubt. I release whatever those are. And then finalizing it with what you want to attract. And I attract whatever those feelings that you want more of, the joy, happiness, and connection. So I'm creating a life filled with calm, kindness, and connection, filled with happiness, joy, travel, adventure, releasing the anger, doubt, and the fear, and attracting the joy, the happiness, and whatever it is. And from here, you can create your vision for what's to come. And what this does is it allows for you to then have a blueprint to come back to come home to yourself and to say, does this decision for my business align with this, or does it not align with this? And this is so wonderful in the coaching sessions for business and in life. And that's the process that I'm talking about, that niche that just allows for you to have this vision in place. Yeah. And to be able to use that as your lighthouse to look back and guide you to where you ultimately want to be.
Well, I, for one, am so grateful for this time together, and so appreciate you walking us through this, just even this slice of mindfulness and calm and the generosity of sharing your process with us. We're so appreciative. And for those of you who are with us, you can find Michael at the links that have been included in the chats. You can find him on TikTok. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him on his fabulous website. For those of you who are more curious about coaching, about iPEC, the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, and want to explore that a little bit more, you can reach out to our admissions team. And we would love to connect with you and help you create some clarity around your vision and what that might look like with coaching in it. Michael, thank you so much. It is always my pleasure to connect with you. Thank you to everyone who joined us today for the Energy Explorers Live. You have multiple ways to connect with our community through at the Energy Explorers. Thanks to everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again really soon. Thanks again.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.